Hi, my name is Austin Pettigrew, and since Halloween's coming up, I've decided to talk about fear. And not the kind of fear that I'm feeling right now, the fear that we use to entertain ourselves. So, to talk about it, we have to understand why we do it. And it all comes to the adrenaline rush. Adrenaline causes the production of opioids, which are painkillers. They suppress pain, and then it triggers endorphins, which feel really good. They also increase sensory sensitivity, which all combines together to create a feeling of being more alive. Now, if this is what happens, then why do some of us not like being scared? Well, these are all hormones, and everyone's hormones are different. They produce at different rates. And the adrenaline rush is meant to offset our fear response. And if it doesn't offset, then we set into overdrive, which produces cortisol, which suppresses the production of insulin, which primes our muscles to either fight or run away like crazy. Now, in fear, in horror, pacing is what keeps us in this first stage of fear, where we feel good. And pacing follows a curve where it'll start off with high intensity, drop to low, high, and it slowly works its way back up. And this is true in all media. It's what keeps us enthralled. It keeps us interested. In horror, they also use the tension release cycle. It looks like that. Exact same thing. Same concept, just different things. A release starting with low tension, building up to a scare, and then our tension drops. And we can work up to another scare. And this is what makes scaring good, is having tension build up, getting us ready, and then a release where we actually get scared. Now, horror works on a set of axes. Most horror will fall either grotesque or psychological, surreal or real. Now, works like H.P. Lovecraft, Cthulhu and stuff like that, that falls very into surreal and psychological. And then things like Saw, Final Destination, Jason, those are grotesque and real because we can see those happening to us. Now, different mediums affect us in different ways and have different ease of communication. Things like games and haunted houses are great mediums for horror because they are inherently compelling. We are already experiencing them. We are part of that experience. I said the same thing twice. And just being there, feeling that it's real, really enhances the experience. Things like TV and movies are also really good at communicating horror because it does a lot of the thinking for us. We don't have to imagine what it's like because it's just showing it to us. It also helps us with pacing because it's giving it to us when it wants us to happen. And then there's things like oral and literary horror. And these are the best because they linger the longest, because we do the thinking. We know what scares us best. And they're effective because of atmosphere and diction. Having the right setting, tone, and words are what make good horror good. Because it really makes the difference between a cottage in the forest and a cabin in the woods. One is a nice vacation, and the other's where you're going to get stabbed. Now, like I said about lingering fear, good horror, or bad horror, depending on how you define it, will linger with us. It'll make us feel unsafe. And some people enjoy that feeling. On the other hand, some horror actually makes us feel safer because we feel like we can overcome, or it's something happens that's so ridiculous that we can laugh it off. Like, have you ever seen the Leprechaun movies? It's about a demented leprechaun that bites people. Quality horror. Anyway, horror is a great means of expression because it's not something that we usually think about. It's fun, and it makes us consider things differently. Thank you for your time. I hope you learned something new, enjoyed this, and happy almost Halloween.